Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. Come a little closer for a story. And the story that there could be a division between humanity coming. And the division would respect that, the choice indeed, but a division there would be. Of those who have decided to continue the old ways, thinking that the old ways are the only ways. And even though they're old ways, they develop into new ways reflective of old energies. And then there are the ones who are looking to the future in a different way, saying, what I have in my body is sufficient for so many things. And a new normal that Kryon talks about, they say, is one where wisdom starts to increase. And an evolution we didn't expect starts to happen that affects us in ways that we will know better and be able to create things for the future without ruining it from the old ways. I spoke of a division many times where those who follow that intuition that there are pieces and parts of God will start to discover remedies, inventions on their own that utilize natural things. And that would create many who would live longer. And they would live longer naturally from what they had discovered about themselves with the new gained wisdom, putting things together, never been put together before, that were more natural than ever before. And that because they would live longer, there would be an entire group who would say, we have no understanding of what you're doing. We have all this technology and we're still not living as long as you are. It must be witchcraft. It must be magic. And that is what they'll say. It sounds outlandish, perhaps. But dear ones, when you start being excluded from certain groups because you don't do certain kinds of things, it has begun. There are many who are worried. They say, well, I understand that there could be a split. And they wouldn't understand a higher thinking human being who is able to heal themselves, perhaps, and live longer from their own consciousness. I understand that. I understand there could be a split, but isn't that going to tear us apart? Isn't that going to tear humanity apart? I will tell you this, dear ones, that the more who are born on this planet in this new energy, they accept and have different DNA. And when I say different DNA, I mean there are switches turned on that you didn't have and that your parents didn't have. And when I mean switches, I mean biologically. They are ready and waiting and willing to be wiser and smarter. And they will start seeing the difference. And there's going to be more of the ones doing it naturally than not, eventually. But the battle starts now. It's part of that which I predicted. That humanity, some of humanity is ready for this, and some is not. The teacher, Greg, the scientist, is sounding the bell that says, watch what happens next. For even without that, which is the channeling, he sees it because it is coming and it's obvious. And the things that I would say to you, dear ones, is that do not fear the future. Yes, there will be issues like this, but do not fear it. for you are on the side of light. And it's going to be exceptionally obvious, especially to the young people who are starting to come up, that the true way of saving yourself and saving the planet and all of that is through that which we call the new human. The one who is kinder. The one who understands that relationships, all relationships between races, countries, cultures, genders, all relationships are based on respect and love. When a certain amount of the population becomes kinder with each other and start living longer, I'll tell you, that is very attractive, especially to the young people looking around, deciding what is what. You might say, well, I'm not really sure, because young people, well, they're always attracted to the new things. They'll always want the new technology. They're going to want this and that. Give them credit, dear ones, especially those coming up, not born yet. Give them credit to look around and see. Yes, they'll want the gadgets, but when it comes to that which is the planet and their health and the way things work, they're going to be a little smarter than you might think. This future of yours is going to be far different than you think. For the field still will contain that which is consciousness of the way the planet is thinking, and specifically the way certain parts of the planet is thinking, and things perhaps that are coming up. There was an old paradigm that said if anything good happens, for instance, a wonderful invention that would be beneficial to all and to the planet, that it would be captured by old energy corporations as soon as it was there and be buried. I want to give you another scenario. Indeed, that is what has happened over and over. The teacher Greg, he didn't mention that all the solutions were already there, but an older attitude of how the body is thought of and how you grew up and what you thought kept you from utilizing any of them. That is an old energy, dear ones. That is a paradigm that you grew up in, so many of you. What if I told you there is a new paradigm? The field plays into this in a way you're not aware of. Have you noticed that many times profound changes on the planet, meaning inventions, happen all at once, all over the planet, but the first one to utilize it is the one who gets the credit? We've said this before, that the Wright brothers, who established powered flight for you, only beat the French by 2 weeks. In other words, it was being developed in other places and tried in other places. But the ones who got there first, well, they got the credit. The invention of the radio was so close, almost simultaneously, that it was a toss-up. Who would get the credit? Marconi. And yet it was taking place in several areas of the world who never even talked to each other because they didn't have radio. What am I telling you? It is common, dear ones, for a consciousness to evolve together in groups where you have things happen simultaneously, where ideas and inventions are happen simultaneously instead of just one bright spot. When you have the field and you're tuned into it, that means that no human being can capture all of the ideas from all of the sources. It's a new thinking. No one is going to be able to stop something that is good for you and the planet and measured as good for you because the planet agrees and Gaia does not suffer because of an invention. Or you'll live longer because of natural things that are discovered. And we want to take you there yet again because we've got some stories to tell you, and there is someone I want you to meet, those I want you to meet. Let's go there. You cross this bridge with me, please, which represents a barrier and a bridge all at the same time, because some don't want to cross it. The bridge is between that which is your dimensionality, which is linear and singular, to a different kind of reality, which is multidimensional. And both of them are you. And we've said this before because your soul is a multidimensional part of you. Biology can be multidimensional. Your soul rests in that area, you might say. The bridge goes between what you think you know and what you don't know. And you come to the middle of that bridge, and you can pass right through, or perhaps stop and ponder it. Some have a mist because they don't wish to see beyond it. Some do not. But we're going to cross the bridge right now. Please cross the bridge with me. Together, let's go. Take my hand. Come closer, dear ones. And so it is.